Good afternoon, I'm Shawnee Au and this is One News Now. Casualties from Typhoon Odette have already climbed to over 200. This is according to the initial tally by the Philippine National Police. These casualties were recorded in typhoon-hit areas in the Visayas, in northern Mindanao, and the Caraga regions. From the total number of fatalities, 26 have been identified by the police. The PNP likewise reported over 230 injured persons, with 52 still missing. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, has yet to verify these numbers. In Bohol, the death toll from Typhoon Odette has climbed to 74. LGUs are continuing to ask for help as most of the province is now in ruins after the typhoon's onslaught. Jenny Dongon with the report.
One of the most powerful typhoons on record. This is how the residents of Bohol describe Typhoon Odette. The provincial government has recorded 74 deaths due to this tropical cyclone so far. Communication lines are still down, and according to the Bohol PDRMO, 43 out of 48 towns have been heavily affected by the typhoon. Over in the town of Ubay, 100% of the houses were damaged, 80% of which were totally destroyed. In the coastal area, where the 3-meter storm surge was experienced, 200 houses were wiped away. When Aling Lolita saw our team, she immediately asked for help. Her house was completely damaged and only the concrete floor remained. Her family had been awaiting help for the last 3 days. That's why she turned emotional as she narrated her experience with the typhoon.
Ang hirap namin, wala kaming mabihisan. Wala kaming damit. Ito, mga 3 araw na sa katawan ko, wala pa kami nabihisan. Wala kami mga banig, lahat ng mga gamit namin, wala na.
Saan po kayo natutulog, ma'am?
Ito. Diyan na lang sila natutulog. Sabi ng anak ko na sobra ng lamig. Sabi ko, tis-tis tayo. Wala na.
Paano yung pag-umulan? Saan kayo tutuloy?
Tatrapala lang siguro. Sana maawa lang ang Panginoon, di mo na sana umulan.
Meanwhile, Aling Connie suffered various wounds during the onslaught. They weren't able to evacuate immediately and instead went to the roof to evade the storm surge.
Muntik na talaga akong bumigay, ma'am. Sabi ko, Lord, huwag mo naman sana akong kunin kasi hindi ko pa kaya. Hindi ko pa nagampanan lahat ng tungkulin ko bilang isang ina. Tapos, yung nasa isip ko talaga itong bunso namin, 8 years old pa lang po kasi siya ang bata pa. Ayoko pa siya mamatay.
Ubay Mayor Constantino Reyes said they prepared for the storm's onslaught but they did not expect such strength.
Paghandaan natin, kaya ganun lang ang nangyari. Kasi mayroong storm surge dito. So kung hindi natin napakindaan yun, sigurado marami talagang casualties. So 3 nalunod at saka 8 yung natabunan sa mga bahay-bahay.
Because of the damage, Mayor Reyes said it might take months to completely restore the power supply in town. Almost all trees and electric posts were turned down, while several cars were overturned. They are now pleading for help, especially for clothes, food, water, and medicine. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, we are One News.
And here are some updates from other areas ravaged by Typhoon Odette. The recently inaugurated Siargao Sports Complex also collapsed after the typhoon's onslaught on the island. The complex initially served as an evacuation center for residents during the storm. Evacuees inside the gymnasium reportedly had to make use of tables to shield themselves from falling debris. Residents from Palawan are also asking for help after the typhoon devastated the province. They said that they have been waiting for help to arrive for 3 days now. The province reported consecutive landslides due to heavy rains brought about by Odette. In Dinagat Islands, around 128,000 residents were affected by the typhoon. Some 14,000 houses were damaged. Dinagat Islands PIO Jeff Crisostomo told 1PH that this is the strongest typhoon to hit the group of islands. Communication lines are still down in the area. Many passengers were left stranded in the Mactan Cebu International Airport after flights were canceled because of Typhoon Odette. Some of them opted to stay in the airport since some parts of Cebu are still experiencing lack of water, electricity, and internet connection. Meanwhile, long lines of passengers greeted Cebu Pacific's ticketing office over at the NAIA Terminal 3 after the airline canceled flights going to and from Palawan and Cebu. Cebu Pacific said operations are still limited following the typhoon's onslaught. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. PLDT and SMART said that they have reconnected more areas in the Visayas and Mindanao after Typhoon Odette. A majority of its wireless and fixed services have been restored in the Visayas, except in Cebu, Bohol, Leyte, and Negros provinces, where electricity is still limited. In Mindanao, major restoration activities are still ongoing in Surigao del Norte. This includes Siargao, Misamis Oriental, and the Dinagat Islands. The telco will also begin restoration in Palawan once roads become passable. Meanwhile, Globe Telecom has put up 19 stations across the Visayas and Mindanao for free calls and free charging. Some of the stations are located in Cebu, Bohol, Samar, and Negros provinces. Let's take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Commission on Elections says that over 65 million Filipinos are eligible to vote in the upcoming 2022 national elections. Calabarzon recorded the highest number of voters, followed by Metro Manila and Central Luzon. And the Health Department confirms a third case of the Omicron COVID-19 variant here in the country. The patient is a 36-year-old returning Filipino from Qatar who arrived at the Mactan Airport on November 28. The DOH says the patient already tested negative for COVID-19 over the weekend. And Pope Francis has offered prayers for Filipinos affected by Typhoon Odette. The pontiff said on Twitter that he prayed for the intercession of the Santo Niño to bring consolation and hope to the families affected by the typhoon. And today, many of our kababayans in the provinces hit by Typhoon Odette have no food and no water. They have lost their homes and some have lost loved ones. Let's let them feel the spirit of bayanihan. You may send your donations through the following channels that are now being flashed on your screens. Let's make them feel that through this pandemic, through this devastation, tuloy pa rin ang Pasko.
Masaya tayo, nandito tayong dumarating.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.